A Speech-Language Disability Guide. Chapter 1. Speech Conditions. Speech Disorders Info. Speech is the major method of communicating with written language and sign language behind it. Speech involves two components: understanding language, then expressing your own response. Every child develops at their own rate. Some children have problems with language and speech, but most will outgrow them by the time they grow up. Speech disorders are difficulties in producing the right sounds to speak clearly, either due to a problem in the brain or a problem in the physical mechanisms used to produce sound: mouth, lips, tongue, throat, teeth, etc. The major communication disorders in children are reception problems: they can't seem to process and understand what is said to them. Expression: can't express themselves. Either don't have enough of a vocabulary, don't understand grammar, or have a mental deficit. Articulation, which is mostly a physical problem: the child doesn't make letter and word sounds properly, could have a lisp or a slur. Quality of voice: the voice could be harsh, coarse, nasal, monotonous, too loud or too soft. Aphasia: the speech area of the brain is damaged due to traumatic brain injury. Dyspraxia: the inability to properly coordinate and sequence the movements required for speech. This is considered a brain problem which doesn't get the proper message to the vocal cords, which are fine. Dysarthria involves problems with controlling the muscles used in speaking and is often characterized by the mouth being open and the tongue hanging out. Phonological impairment: misarticulation, child says the word and letter sounds wrong. If you find your child has speech or language disorders, the first thing to do is get a hearing test and get the ears, eyes, and throat checked out to see if it could be a medical problem causing the speech disability. If they turn out fine, you could start remedial lessons with the child, and if he or she shows improvement, then you're all right. It was just his pace of growing up, but some children have speech and language disorders due to some deficit in the brain's ability to process language. Speech disorders are defined as trouble producing the sounds of the language, which may stem from a brain deficit or an inability to properly control the muscles needed to produce the sounds. Speech is highly complex activity. Some children will have problems with it. Children with medical conditions such as cerebral palsy or cleft lip have difficulties with speech. It doesn't necessarily mean you're intellectually impaired, it just means you don't speak clearly. Children with intellectual disorders like autism, learning disabilities, or mental retardation often have communication disorders as well. It may be a memory problem, not a language problem. The child is unable to remember things well, and this affects language development. Some of the terms used to describe communication disorders are developmental language disorder, delayed speech, impaired language, motor disorder, etc. When a child has a communication disorder, the school will sometimes bring a speech-language pathologist, also called a speech therapist, in to work with small groups of children once a week or so and practice talking with them through indirect means like playing games. A speech-language pathologist, speech therapist, or speech clinician is a specialist who diagnoses and treats communication disorders. The speech-language pathologist generally meets with an afflicted child in a play setting to informally play while assessing the child's ability to speak. The child may be asked to draw pictures, say words, name objects, describe pictures, etc. Based on the results, the speech-language pathologist will design a therapy program for the child. Some other medical professionals that treat communication disorders are an audiologist, to assess any association with hearing problems, an otolaryngologist, to examine the ears, nose, and throat to determine whether there are physical conditions in the speech-making apparatus that need medical treatment, and a neurologist to detect any brain abnormalities. In some cases of suspected mental health problems or mental retardation, a psychologist or psychiatrist is used. Communication disorder info. A communication disorder is a disease or condition that prevents communication. It could be in producing, receiving, or understanding the messages. Communication disorders could be anything involving speech, language, and hearing. commtechlab.msu.edu. aphasia.org, aphasia impairs a person's ability to process language. HearCenter.org. The Hear Center is geared towards helping individuals with hearing loss or speech and language impairments integrate into the mainstream of the community by providing them with the means for developing auditory and oral communication skills. CommunicationDisorders.com, net connections to communication disorders and sciences. as.wvu.edu/sced/comm.html. asha.org, speech-language disorders and the speech-language pathologies. Callier.utdallas.edu, Callier Center for Communication Disorders. childdevelopmentinfo.com/disorders/children_with_communication_disorders.html. cnet.shs.arizona.edu, the National Center for Neurogenic Communication Disorders. community.com/disability/speech/communication.html. emedicine.com/pmr/topic153.htm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/communication_disorder. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/glossary_of_medical_related_to_communications_disorders. familyvillage.wisc.edu/lib_comd.htm. health-dictionary.com/deafness. hyperlexia.org/sp1.html, semantic pragmatic disorder. kidneeds.com/diagnostic_categories/language.htm. kidsource.com/kidsource/content2/language_disorders.html. language-express.com/disorders/whatis.htm. mnsu.edu/comdis. nidcd.nih.gov, National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. nlm.nih.gov/medlineplus/speech and decommunication disorders.html. patienthealthinternational.com. psychologytoday.com/dsm_4/communication_disorder.htm. psychologytoday.com/conditions/commdisorder.html. scsd2.com/offices/speech/types of.html. speech-express.com. speechville.com. stutter-cure.com. thefreedictionary.com/communication plus sign disorder. upstate.edu/uh/cancer/communication.php. usd.edu/decom. usevisualstrategies.com. verbaldrool.com/communication-disorder.html. National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. 1. Communication Avenue. Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-241-1044. 800-241-1055, TDD. Fax, 301-907-8830. nih.gov/nidcd. Nathan. Pop 39. Port Hill, Idaho 83853. nathon.com. Aerobikes. 990 Grove Street. Evanston, Illinois 60201. 888-328-8199. Aerobics.com. Fast Forward. Scientific Learning. 300 Frank H. Ogawa Plaza. Suite 500. Oakland, California 94612. 888-665-9707. Scilearn.com. Lindamood Bell Learning Processes. 416 Higuera Street. San Luis Obispo, California 93401. 800-233-1819. lblp.com. Linguisystems. 3100 4th Avenue. East Moline, Illinois 61244. 800-776-4332. linguisystems.com. Children's speech-language development. Some people are born stutterers, some lose speech in accidents and others lose it through diseases like strokes. agbell.org. arsha.org, Arizona Speech-Language Hearing Association. asha.org. audiologyinfo.com. audiologynet.com. audiologyonline.com. klpa.ca, Speech-Language Pathologists and Audiologists, Canada. caspeechhearing.org, California. communicationdisorders.com. communicativehealthcare.com, Boston. easterseals.org. fa-ct.org/career.html, LD School in East Haddam, CT. rehabcare.com. speech-language-therapy.com. speech-pathologist.org. speechpathology.com. speech-pathologY.org. American Academy of Audiology. 8201 Greensboro Drive. Number 300. McLean, Virginia 22102. 703-610-9022. 800-888-2336. audiology.com. audiology.org. American Academy of Private Practice. Speech Pathology and Audiology. 4341 S West Nedge. Number 2104. Kalamazoo, Michigan 49008. 860-889-3028. aappspa.org. American Auditory Society. 352 Sundial Ridge Circle. Dameron Valley, Utah 84783. 435-574-0062. amauditorysoc.org. Academy of Dispensing Audiologists. 3008 Millwood Avenue. 800-445-8629. audiologist.org. Better Hearing Institute. 5021 Backlick Road. Annandale, Virginia 22003. betterhearing.org. Advanced epubs. 859 Williamette St. Eugene, Oregon 97401. 800-346-0085. 541-343-1200. advianstar.com. Hearing Instruments. Journal. American Hyperlexia Association. 479 Spring Road. Elmhurst, Illinois 60126. Fax 708-682-3616. hyperlexia.org. Speech Disorder. American Speech-Language Hearing Association. 10801 Rockville Pike. Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-5700. Fax 301-571-0457. 301-897-0157, TDD. asha.org. Council of Exceptional Children. 800-328-0272. cec.sped.org. American Academy of Private Practice. Speech Pathology and Audiology. 4341 S West Nedge. Number 2104. Kalamazoo, Michigan 49008. 860-889-3028. aappspa.org. Educational Audiology Association. 4319 Ehrlich Road. Tampa, Florida 33624. 800-460-7EAA. pip.s.cmich.edu/EAA. Facilitated Communication Institute. Syracuse University. 370 Huntington Hall. Syracuse, New York 13244-2340. 315-443-9657. Fax 315-443-2274. National Association for Hearing and Speech Action 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-8682. Referrals and Resources. National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. 1 Communication Avenue, Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-241-1044. 800-241-1055, TDD. Fax 301-907-8830. nih.gov/nidcd. Scottish Rite Foundation. 1733 16th St. Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20009-3199. 202-232-3579. Fax 202-376-1843. Speech and Language Disorders. Aphasia info. Aphasia is a condition whereby the language area of the brain is damaged by a brain injury. Aphasia can arise after a stroke or from head injuries. AmericanHeart.org, Aphasia after a stroke. Answers.com/topic/aphasia. Aphasia.ca. Aphasia.com. Aphasia.net. Aphasia.net. Aphasia.org.au, Australian Aphasia Association. aphasia-glos.org.uk, Aphasia Self-Help Group Gloucestershire. aphasiahelp.blogspot.com. aphasiahelp.com, University of Michigan Aphasia Program. aphasiahope.org. aphasianow.org. phd-dissertation_aphasia_dissertation_thesis.html. careercollege-zine.com/c/health_and_medical/aphasia-training-options-that-make-a-difference.htm. aphasiaottawa.com. babybumblebee.com, speech therapy DVDs can help your child begin to speak. cs.princeton.edu/aphasia. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/aphasia. igive.com/acc, Age of Help Aphasia Center of California. medicalnewstoday.com/articles/137837.php. mentalhelp.net/self-help. newscientist.com/articles/dn10657-words-after-a-singalong.html, singing in a group seems to help people with aphasia to speak again. nidcd.nih.gov/health/voice/aphasia.asp. parrotsoftware.com. sentenseshapper.com, software. smash-uk.org. speakability.org.uk. National Aphasia Association. 156 5th Ave No. 707. NYC 10010. 800-922-4622. aphasia.org. Academy of Aphasia. UCLA. Department of Linguistics. Los Angeles, California 90024. 310-206-3206. UCLA.edu. Medical specialists who study the effects of brain injury on intellectual function. Candle. Childhood aphasia, autism, neurological disorders, LKS and epilepsy. 4414 McCampbell Drive, Montgomery, Alabama 36106. 205-271-3947. LKS means Landau-Kleffner syndrome. Dysphonia/spasmodic dysphonia/laryngeal dystonia. Dysphonia is a problem with the voice like hoarseness. It could be caused by many things. dysphonia.org. Answers.com/topic/dysphonia. dysphonia-bb.org/forums/sd. emedicine.com/ent/topic349.hdm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/dysphonia. healthguide.howstuffworks.com/spasmodic-dysphonia-dictionary.hdm. medical.meriam-webster.com/medical/dysphonia. maydeendia.net/glossary/dysphonia.hdm. medterms.com. netdoctor.co.uk/facts/dysphonia.hdm. nidcd.nih.gov/health/voice/spasdysb.hdm. nlm.nih.gov/medline+/nc/article/000753.hdm. nyp.org/health/spasmodic-dysphonia.html, New York Presbyterian Hospital. umm.edu/dwp/002349.hdm. voicedoctor.net/links/sdsites.html. webmd.com. wrongdiagnosis.com/s/spasmodic_dysphonia/news.hdm. National Spasmodic Dysphonia Association. POG 1574. Birmingham, Michigan 48009. dysphonia.org. Dyspraxia/apraxia of speech/verbal apraxia. Dyspraxia is the inability to properly coordinate and sequence the movements required for speech. This is considered a brain problem which doesn't get the proper message to the vocal cords, which are fine. ncld.org/ld-basics/ld-aamp-language/dyspraxia-a-quick-look, a quick look, with an introduction and warning signs by H. cafamily.org.uk/direct/d48.html. callsal.org.uk/sites/daa/homepage.asp, dyspraxia adults action. cs.amherst.edu/djv/dvd.html, developmental verbal dyspraxia. dyslexiatreatment.com/dyspraxia-symptoms.hdm. dyspraxia.com.au. dyspraxia.net. dyspraxia.org.nz, the Dyspraxia Support Group of New Zealand, Inc. dyspraxia-extreme.com. dyspraxiafoundation.org.uk. dyspraxiaireland.com. dyspraxianation.com. dyspraxiausa.org. egroups.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/dyspraxia. inpraxisltd.co.uk/html/dyspraxia_.html. library.advanced.org/1179/data/dyspraxia.html. library.thinkquest.org/1179/data/dyspraxia.html. ncld.org, the National Centre for Learning Disabilities. nhs.uk/articles/article.aspx $print page =1 article ID =1698. nidcd.nih.gov/health/voice/apraxia.hdm. nines.nih.gov/disorders/dyspraxia/dyspraxia.hdm. rdg.ac.uk/studieskills/dyslexia/dyspraxia-info.hdm. reading.ac.uk/counseling/studieskills/dyslexia/dyspraxia-info.hdm. tailoredmktg.com/dyspraxia. therapy-in-praxis-ltd.co.uk, North Yorkshire. tinsleyhouseclinic.co.uk/dyspraxia.hdm. unix.oit.umass.edu/velemen/cas.html. Stuttering info. Stuttering and stammering is a condition of repeatedly hesitating, stumbling, or spasmodically pronouncing certain problem sounds which are individual in scope. Stuttering is common among children, but many outgrow it. Be patient, don't make the child anxious about the stuttering problem. Some people say the problem is psychological, some say it's physical. The Speacheasy is a relatively new device put into the ear which makes the stutterer feel as though he's listening to someone else stutter, not himself, such that he reduces stuttering by 90+%. Type the term Speacheasy into search engines. Try number 612.85, number 616.8554, number 618.9285 or RC424 and RJ496 at the library. Stutterhelp.org, Stuttering Foundation of America. Stuttersfa.org, 800-992-9392. nsbstuttering.org, 800-364-1677. kasafuturatec.com/FAQ. communicationdisorders.com. easterseals.org. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custers/related.html, communication disorders. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custers/stutter. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custer2/welcome.html. beyondstuttering.com.au. msus.edu/department/comdis/custers/stutter.html. nichsci.org, 800-695-0285, booklet Speech and Language Impairment. nmha.org, 800-969-6642, Mental Health Association. stutteringhelp.org, 800-992-9392. webcon.net/caps, people who stutter. alt.support.stuttering. American Hyperlexia Association. 479 Spring Road, Elmhurst, Illinois 60126. Fax 708-682-3616. Hyperlexia.org. Speech disorder. American Speech Language Hearing Association. 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-5700. Fax 301-571-0457. 301-897-0157, TDD. asha.org. All-around support group with publications on communication disorders, hearing aids, aging, etc. Facilitated Communication Institute. Syracuse University. 370 Huntington Hall, Syracuse, New York 13244-2340. 315-443-9657. Fax 315-443-2274. syr.edu. Hear Our Voices. 105 West Pine St. Louis, Ohio 44691. 216-262-4681. Support Group for People with Speech Impairments. International Foundation for Stutterers, Inc. epub 462. Belmead, New Jersey 08502. 609-275-3806. National Association for Hearing and Speech Action. 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-8682. Referrals and Resources. National Center for Stuttering. 200 East 33rd St. Number 17C. NYC 10016. 800-221-2483. 212-532-1460. Stuttering.com. National Institute on Deafness and Other communication disorders. 1. Communication Avenue. Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-241-1044. 800-241-1055, TDD. Fax, 301-907-8830. nih.gov/NIDCD. National Stuttering Association. 5100 East La Palma Avenue. Number 208. Anaheim Hills, California 92807. 800-364-1677. 714-693-7554. nsbinfo@aol.com. nsastutter.org. National Stuttering Project. 2151 Irving St. Number 208. SF, California 94122-1609. 800-364-1677. 415-566-5324. Educational, Referral and Support Organization. Scottish Rite Foundation. 1733 16th St. Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20009-3199. 202-232-3579. Fax, 202-376-1843. Speech and Language Disorders. Speakeasy International. Foundation, Inc. 233 Concord Drive. Paramus, New Jersey 07652. 201-262-0895. Stuttering Foundation of America. 3100 Walnut Grove Boulevard. Number 603. Memphis, Tennessee 38111. 800-992-9392. 901-452-0995. Fax, 901-452-3931. Stuttersfa.org. Voice Problems Info. Voxcura.com, Voxcura, Voice Care Specialists. Services include ear, nose, and throat medicine, vocal and singing coaching, speech therapy. asha.org/public/speech/disorders. atosmedical.com, tracheoesophageal voice restoration. chicagovoicecenter.com, Chicago Voice Center. communicativemedical.com, supplier of artificial larynx devices, amplifiers, and laryngectomy supplies. dukevoicecare.org. emedicine.com/ent/topic695.htm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/voice_analysis. entnet.org. lahaye.org/medical/voice center. mayoclinic.org/voice-disorders. med.nyu.edu/voice center. nlm.nih.gov/medlineplus/voice disorders.html. noah-health.org/en/disorders/speech/disorders/voice.html. spasmodicdysphonia.us. umm.edu/voice, Maryland, provides medical, surgical and rehabilitation services for individuals with voice problems and other disorders of the larynx. utmedicalcenter.org/cms/departments/rehabilitation/diseases+conditions/voice+disorders, Utah. voicecenter.upm.com, Pittsburgh, PA. voicedoctor.net. voicefoundation.org. voicefoundation.org/voiceproblems.html. voicegym.co.uk/problems.htm. voiceinstitutany.net, Voice Treatment Center. voiceproblem.org. webmd.com/a-to-z-guides/voice-problems-overview. Stuttering, stammering associations, organizations, websites. asha.org, American Speech Language Hearing Association, ASHA. stammeringcenter.org, Association for Research into Stammering in Childhood, ARSC, United Kingdom, UK. asltip.co.uk, Association of Speech and Language Therapists in Independent Practice. ASLTip, United Kingdom, UK. Stammering.org, British Stammering Association, BSA, United Kingdom, UK. CAPS.webcon.net, Canadian Association for People Who Stutter, CAPS. Europe.is/ELSA, European League of Stuttering Associations, ELSA. FriendsWhoStutter.org, Friends, the Association of Young People Who Stutter. ruhr-uni-bochum.de/ifa/index.html, International Fluency Association, IFA. stutterisa.org, International Stuttering Association, ISA. stjames.ie/isa, Irish Stammering Association, ISA, Ireland, IE. mb.org.il, Israeli Stuttering Association, MB, Israel, IL. nsastutter.org, National Stuttering Association, NSA, United States. speakeasy.org.za, Speakeasy South Africa, South Africa, ZA. stammertrust.co.uk, the Stammer Trust United Kingdom, UK. stuttersfa.org, Stuttering Foundation of America, SFA. Tourette Syndrome Associations, Organizations, websites from the agapeCenter.com/organizations/conditions-diseases/Tourette-syndrome.htm. Tourette.nl, Dutch Tourette Syndrome Association, Netherlands, NL. Tourettesyndrome.org, Tourette Spectrum Disorder Association, TSDA. TSA-USA.org, Tourette Syndrome Association, TSA. Tourette.org.au, Tourette Syndrome Association of Australia, TSAA, Australia, O. TSA.org.uk, Tourette Syndrome Association, TSA, United Kingdom, UK. Tourette.ca, Tourette Syndrome Foundation of Canada, Canada, CA. TSACT.org, Connecticut Tourette Syndrome Association. TSMAS.org, Massachusetts chapter of the Tourette Syndrome Association. PATouretteSyndrome.org, Pennsylvania Tourette Syndrome Association. TSAArizona.org, Tourette Syndrome Association Arizona chapter. TSAOFGA-SC.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Georgia and South Carolina, TSAGASC. TSA-HC.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Hillsborough County, Florida. TSAHouston.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Houston, Houston, Texas. LI-TSA.org, Tourette Syndrome Association, Long Island Chapter New York. Sanjay.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of New Jersey, Sanjay. TSA-NYC.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of New York City, New York, New York. TSAOhio.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Ohio. TouretteSyndromeOntario.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Ontario, TSAO, Ontario, Canada, CA. TSARI.mhri.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Rhode Island, TSARI. TSAGW.org, Tourette Syndrome Association of Greater Washington, TSAGU, Washington, D.C. and surroundings. sensiblenet.com/tsa/home.htm, Tourette Syndrome Association, Rocky Mountain Region. TSARMR. TOURETTESYNDROME-SOCAL.org, Tourette Syndrome Association, Southern California. Tourette.net/WA, Washington State Chapter, Tourette Syndrome Association, TSA. Chapter 2. Language Problem Guide. Language disorders/language problems. There are a wide variety of language weaknesses caused by a myriad of things. Try number 612.85, number 616.8554, number 618.9285 or RC424 and RJ496 at the library. addis.co.uk/language-disorders.htm, language disorders and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. betterhealth.vic.gov.au/bhcv2/bhcarticles.nsf/pages/receptive_language_disorder. bju.edu/academics/sfa/undergrad/divsc/comdisorder.html. communicationdisorders.com. condor.depal.edu/tildes/siren/courses/others/outmn444/ch5lang.htm, left hemisphere lesions or underdevelopment account for most language disorders in childhood. devdis.com/sld.html. ecampus.com/book/14180095447, language disorders across the lifespan by Betty Vinson. eclpublications.com, education, communication, and language. Hanan.org, Speech-Language Pathology Center. health.discovery.com/encyclopedias/illnesses.html. healthtouch.com. kidsource.com/nikhsi/speech.html. ldonline.org/article/6336. ling.upenn.edu. logicaandlanguage.net. maypd.org/wbt/ld/page11.html, problems establishing social relationships, may be related to spoken language disorders. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custers/related.html, communication disorders. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custer2/welcome.html. med.umich.edu/1libar/pa/speech_hhg.htm. nikhsi.org/pub/faxhe/fs11text.htm. nlm.nih.gov. olemis.edu/department/comm_disorders/slpinfo.htm. onetcenter.org. science.education.nih.gov/lifeworks.nsf. speechandlanguage.louisiana.edu. stephenharris.com/theory/064.htm. superduperinc.com, 800-277-8737, speech and language products. thelanguageguy.blogspot.com. udel.edu/belef/mentalcomputation.pdf. wrongdiagnosis.com/sym/language_problems.htm. wvu.edu/speechpa. American Hyperlexia Association. 479, Spring Road, Elmhurst, Illinois 60126. Fax, 708-682-3616. Hyperlexia.org. Speech disorder. American Speech Language Hearing Association. 10801, Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-5700. Fax, 301-571-0457. 301-897-0157, TDD. asha.org. All-around support group with publications on communication disorders, hearing aids, aging, etc. Canadian Association of Speech-Language Pathologists and Audiologists. 2006 130, Albert St. Ottawa, on K1P5GA. 613-567-9968. Fax, 613-567-2859. 800-259-8519. KLPA.ca. National Association for Hearing and Speech Action. 10801, Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-8682. Referrals and resources. National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. 1. Communication Avenue. Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-241-1044. 800-241-1055, TDD. Fax, 301-907-8830. nih.gov/NIDCD. Taking Action Against Language Disorders for Kids. Donna Lane. Bend, Oregon 97701. 503-389-0004. Aphasia/dysphagia. Dyspraxia is the condition of having difficulty making the appropriate facial motor movements to create the right word sounds. Something gets lost between hearing words and trying to imitate them. Doesn't seem to have the wiring to get beyond just words to concepts and sentences. Can't verbally identify things they see. Problems of recall, remembering certain words. Auditory processing deficits. Problems focusing on auditory stimuli. Problems discriminating different sounds. Problems understanding sound, being able to process it as language. Problems separating language words from background sounds. Problems filtering out other sounds when listening to language. The language is too much input to process so quickly. Reversing word sounds, for example, instead of hearing the word fire truck, they might hear it as tire fruck or truck fire. Doesn't understand syntax. Cognitive processing deficits. Problems listening and understanding. Problems expressing thoughts. Problems organizing and classifying information. Problems seeing events as existing in chronological order, one after the other in time. Problems making comparisons. Problems understanding or the main points of a story. Problems generating creative ideas. Problems distinguishing between reality and fantasy. Memory problems. Evaluation deficits. Problems with cause and effect, also reaching inferences and conclusions from information already known. Linguistic processing deficits. Poor vocabulary. Poor grammar. Poor use of verb tenses. Uses very few specific words. Instead of identifying the type of car or bird, we'll just say car or bird. Cannot seem to visually imagine what someone is talking about. Cannot rotate things in the head or place them in an image in their heads. Chapter 3. Speech Help. Speech Websites. Speechville.com. Talkform.com, software to regain conversational speech. agbell.org. asha.org/public/speech/disorders. audiologyinfo.com. bcm.edu/oto/stud/speech.html. britannica.com/eb/article-9108589/speech-disorder. kaelitesoftware.com. klpa.ca, speech language pathologists and audiologists, Canada. caspeechhearing.org, California. Cherubi.org. kidshealth.org/kid/feel_better/people/speech_therapist.html. communicationdisorders.com. easterseals.org. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/speech_disorder. encyclopedia.farlex.com/speech+sign disorder. facstaff.uww.edu/bradleys/cd programs. healthatos.com/healthatos/at/nc/speech_disorders.jsp. healthsystem.virginia.edu/internet/speech/clinics.cfm. kidshealth.org/teen/diseases_conditions/site/speech_disorders.html. kidsource.com/nichsi/speech.html. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custer/related.html, communication disorders. mankato.msus.edu/department/comdis/custer2/welcome.html nichsci.org, 800-695-0285, Booklet Speech and Language Impairment. nichsci.org/pub/faxhe/fs11text.htm nih.gif/nidpt nlm.nih.gov/medlineplus/speech-and-decommunicationdisorders.html nmha.org, 800-969-6642, Mental Health Association. overtonspeec.net/disorders.html, Overton Speech and Language Center. pegasus.cc.ucf.edu/NSSLHA. reference.com/browse/wiki/speech_disorder. restonspeec.com, Reston Speech and Language Center. rmlearning.com, At Home Program. speechdisorder.info. speech-express.com. speech-language-therapy.com. speechpathology.com. speechville.com. speechweb.org/disorders.html. state.oh.us/slp. stutter-cure.com. thefreedictionary.com/speech plus sign disorder. videovoice.com, software for speech therapy. Turn your computer into a powerful, comprehensive speech development tool. American Auditory Society. 352 Sundial Ridge Circle, Dameron Valley, Utah 84783. 435-574-0062. amauditorysoc.org. Academy of Dispensing Audiologists. 3008 Millwood Avenue. 800-445-8629. audiologist.org. Better Hearing Institute. 5021 Backlick Road, Onondale, Virginia 22003. betterhearing.org. Advanstar Pubs. 859 Williamette St. Eugene, Oregon 97401. 800-346-0085. 541-343-1200. advianstar.com. Hearing Instruments. Journal. American Academy of Audiology. 8201 Greensboro Drive, Number 300. McLean, Virginia 22102. 703-610-9022. 800-888-2336. Audiology.com. American Academy of Private Practice. Speech Pathology and Audiology. 4341 S West Nedge, Number 2104. Kalamazoo, Michigan 49008. 860-889-3028. aappspa.org. American Auditory Society. 352 Sundial Ridge Circle, Dameron Valley, Utah 84783. 435-574-0062. amauditorysoc.org. American Hyperlexia Association. 479 Spring Road, Elmhurst, Illinois 60126. Fax 708-682-3616. hyperlexia.org. Speech Disorder. American Speech Language Hearing Association. 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-5700. Fax 301-571-0457. 301-897-0157, TDD. asha.org. professional.asha.org. All-around support group with publications on communication disorders, hearing aids, aging, etc. Council of Exceptional Children. 800-328-00 0272. cec.sped.org. Council on Graduate Programs in Communication Sciences and Disorders. POG 26532. Minneapolis, Minnesota 55426. 612-920-0966. cgpcsd.org. Decker Publications. POB 785. Lewiston, New York 14092. 800-568-7281. 905-522-7017. bcdecker.com. Monthly Augmentative and Alternative Communication. Educational Audiology Association. 4319 Ehrlich Road, Tampa, Florida 33624. 800-460-7 EAA. pip.s.cmich.edu/EAA. Facilitated Communication Institute. Syracuse University. 370 Huntington Hall, Syracuse, New York 13244-2340. 315-443-9657. Fax 315-443-2274. Hear Our Voices. 105 West Pine St. Louis, Ohio 44691. 216-262-4681. Support Group for People with Speech Impairments. Marion Publishers, Inc. 2900 Horizon Drive, POB 61556. King of Prussia, Pennsylvania 19406-0956. 800-355-1088. 800-355-5627. 610-278-1400. otedit@marion.com. advanceweb.com. marion.com. National Association for Hearing and Speech Action. 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-638-8255. 301-897-8682. Referrals and Resources. National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. 1 Communication Avenue, Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-241-1044. 800-241-1055, TDD. Fax 301-907-8830. nih.gov/nidcd. National Student Speech, Language and Hearing Association. 10801 Rockville Pike, Rockville, Maryland 20852. 800-498-2071. nsslha@asha.org. nsslha.org. Scottish Rite Foundation. 1733 16th St. Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20009-3199. 202-232-3579. Fax 202-376-1843. Speech and Language Disorders. Speech and Hearing Associations by State. Alabama. Speech and Hearing Association of Alabama. POB 357. Normal, Alabama 35762. 256-325-8885. info@alabama.sha.org. alabama.sha.org. Alaska. Alaska Speech Language Hearing Association. 3211 Starboard Lane, Anchorage, Alaska 99516. 907-212-0211. axha.org. Arizona. ARSHA, the Arizona Speech Language Hearing Association. POG 12334. Tempe, Arizona 85284. 602-354-8062. Office@arsha.org. arsha.org. California. California Speech Language Hearing Association, CSHA. 825 University Avenue, Sacramento, California 95825-6724. 916-921-1568. CSHA@cshA.org. CSHA.org. Colorado. Colorado Speech Language Hearing Association. epub 345. Sedalia, Colorado 80135. 720-733-9097. CSHAssociationAOL.com. CSHAssociation.org. Connecticut. Connecticut Speech Language Hearing Association. 213 Back Lane, Newington, Connecticut 06111-4204. 860-666-6900. CSHA.association@snet.net. ctspeechhearing.org. Delaware. Delaware Speech Language Hearing Association. epub 7383. Newark, Delaware 19711. dshaweb@dshaweb.org. District of Columbia. District of Columbia Speech Language Hearing Association. epub 29590. Washington, D.C. 20017. 202-877-1000. President@dcsha.org. dcsha.org. Florida. Florida Association of Speech Language Pathologists and Audiologists, FLASHA. 222 Southwest Monty Drive No. 101. Altamonte Springs, Florida 32714. 800-243-3574. 407-774-7880. Georgia. Georgia Speech Language Hearing Association. 20423 State Road 7. Number F6-491. Boca Raton, Florida 33498. 800-226-4742. execdir@gsha.org. gsha.org. Hawaii. Hawaii Speech Language Hearing Association. epub 235888. Honolulu, Hawaii 96823. 808-528-4742. hsha_membership@yahoo.com. hsha.org. Idaho. Idaho Speech, Language, Hearing Association. ISHA. epub 603. Mountain Home, Idaho 83647. 208-599-2536. idahosha.org. Illinois. Illinois Speech Language Hearing Association. 35 East Wacker Drive. Number 850. Chicago, Illinois 60601-2106. 312-644-0828. ishale.org. Indiana. Indiana Speech Language Hearing Association. ISHA. 1829 Cunningham Road. epub 24167. Indianapolis, Indiana 46224. 317-916-4146. mail@iselha.org. iselha.org. Iowa. Iowa Speech Language Hearing Association. 525 SW. 5th Street. Number A. Des Moines, Iowa 50309-4501. 515-282-8192. isha@isha.org. isha.org. Kansas. Kansas Speech Language Hearing Association. 6001 Cherokee Drive. Fairway, Kansas 66205. 913-362-0015. 800-248-5742. ksha@ksha.org. ksha.org. Kentucky. Kentucky Speech Language Hearing Association 535 W. 2nd Street, Number 103, Lexington, Kentucky 40508, 800-837-2446, 859-252-3776, kshaofficeaol.com, kysha.org, Louisiana. Louisiana Speech Language Hearing Association 8550 United Plaza Boulevard, Number 1001, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70809, 225-922-4512, elsha@pncpa.com, elsha.org, Maine. Maine Speech Language Hearing Association Strong Elementary School, 110 North Main Street, Strong, Maine 04983 207-491-5219, mslha.org, Maryland. Maryland Speech Language Hearing Association POB 31, Manchester, Maryland 21102, 410-239-7770, Office at mdslha.org, mdslha.org, Massachusetts. Massachusetts Speech Language Hearing Association 77 Rumford Avenue, Number 3B, Waltham, Massachusetts 02453, 800-898-8177, 781-647-7031, msha@camihq.com, mshahearsay.org, Michigan. Michigan Speech Language Hearing Association 790 West Lake Lansing Road, Number 500A, East Lansing, Michigan 48823, 517-332-5691, msha@9.netcom.com, Michigan's peekhearing.org, Minnesota. Minnesota Speech Language Hearing Association 1000 Westgate Drive, Number 252, St. Paul, Minnesota 55114, 651-290-6292, Office at msha.net, msha.net, Mississippi. Mississippi Speech Language Hearing Association POG 22664, Jackson, Mississippi 39225-2664, 800-664-6742, mshahelp@mshausa.org, mshausa.org, Missouri. Missouri Speech Language Hearing Association Central Office 2000 E Broadway, PMB 296, Columbia, Missouri 65201, 888-729-6742, msha@showmemsha.org, showmemsha.org, Montana. Montana Speech Language Hearing Association Box 215, Miles City, Montana 59301, 406-234-8727, info@mshaonline.org, mshaonline.org, Nebraska. Nebraska Speech Language Hearing Association 455 South 11th Street, Number A, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508-2105, 402-476-9573, nslha.org, Nevada. Nevada Speech Language and Hearing Association POB 7313, Reno, Nevada 89510-7313, 702-452-9029, info@nvsha.org, nvsha.org, New York. New York State Speech Language Hearing Association, Inc. 1 Northway Lane, Latham, New York 12210, 518-786-0947. niceslha.org. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Speech Language Hearing Association, Inc. POB 1538. Concord, New Hampshire 03302-1538. 603-228-5949. nhslha.aol.com. New Jersey. New Jersey Speech Language Hearing Association. 203 Town Center Drive, Hillsborough, New Jersey 08844. 908-359-5308. info@newjerseysha.com. newjerseysha.org. New Mexico. New Mexico Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 90846. Albuquerque, New Mexico 87199. 800-292-8465. 505-899-6674. nmsha@comcast.net. nmsha.net. North Dakota. North Dakota Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 12775. Grand Forks, North Dakota 58208-2775. 701-780-2439. elhoff@altru.org. minutes.tu.edu/ndslha. North Carolina. North Carolina Speech, Hearing, and Language Association. POB 28359. Raleigh, North Carolina 27611-8359. 919-833-3984. ncsHLA@bellsouth.net. ncsHLA.org. Ohio. Ohio Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 309. Germantown, Ohio 45327. 800-866-6742. OSLHA office@donut.com. ohioslha.org. Oklahoma. Oklahoma Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 53217. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73152-3217. 405-271-4214, EXT 46066. oslha@hotmail.com. oslha.org. Oregon. The Oregon Speech Language and Hearing Association. POB 523. Salem, Oregon 97308. 503-370-7019. Association@wvi.com. OregonSpeechandHearing.org. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Speech Language Hearing Association. 800 Perry Highway. Number 3. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 15229-1128. 412-366-9858. psha@psha.org. psha.org. Puerto Rico. Organiza C less than or equal to en Puerto Rico plus or minus a patología del habla, lenguaje y audiología, Inc. POB 20147. San Juan, Puerto Rico 00928-0147. 787-268-0273. ofla@mail.com. ophla.org. Rhode Island. Rhode Island Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 9241. Providence, Rhode Island 02940. 401-455-7472. risha.info. South Dakota. South Dakota Speech Language Hearing Association. POB 308. Sioux Falls, South Dakota 57101. 605-274-2423. sdslha@yahoo.com. sdslha.org. South Carolina. South Carolina Speech-Language Hearing Association. 701 Gervais Street. Number 150-206. Columbia, South Carolina 29201. 888-729-3717. scsha@scsha.com. scsha.com. Tennessee. Tennessee Association of Audiologists and Speech-Language Pathologists. POB 70. Spring Hill, Tennessee 37174. 931-487-9871. toslp.org. Texas. Texas Speech-Language Hearing Association. 918 Congress Avenue. Number 200. Austin, Texas 78701. 512-494-1127. 888-729-8742. txsha.org. Utah. Utah Speech-Language Hearing Association. 1379 31st Street. Ogden, Utah 84403. 801-402-5462. President at ushaonline.net. ushaonline.net. Vermont. Vermont Speech-Language Hearing Association. President at vsha.us. vsha.us. Virginia. Speech-Language Hearing Association of Virginia, Inc. 3126 West Carey Street, number 436. Richmond, Virginia 23221. 888-729-7428. Shavy office at shavy.org. shavy.org. Washington. Washington Speech-Language Hearing Association. 2150 North 107th Street. Number 205. Seattle, Washington 98133-9009. 206-367-8704. Office at wslha.org. wslha.org. West Virginia. West Virginia Speech-Language Hearing Association. 325 Jones Avenue. Oak Hill, West Virginia 25901. 304-465-3058. President at wvsha.org. wvsha.org. Wisconsin. Wisconsin Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Professional Association. 1360 Regent Street, number 154. Madison, Wisconsin 53713. 800-545-0640. wsha at wisha.org. wisha.org. Wyoming. Wyoming Speech-Language Hearing Association. 2480 East Park Avenue. Laramie, Wyoming 82070. 307-766-5714. 307-721-0227. wsha.info. Chapter 4. Tourette Syndrome Guide. Tourette Syndrome Info. Tourette Syndrome, also called Gilles de la Tourette Syndrome or Maladie des tics, is a movement disorder that begins in childhood. Tourette's syndrome is a neurological disorder where people involuntarily get tics in their head, flinch uncontrollably, say things they don't really mean, or holler and scream spontaneously. It's considered a neurological dysfunction, originating in the brain. The symptoms can range from mild to severe tics, sudden, rapid, involuntary repeated movements, or speech that occur in flurries, in some cases, regularly, in most cases, intermittently. Common motor tics range from eye blinking, shoulder shrugging, mouth twitching, general jerky movements, and a variety of other compulsive movements. The speech tics are often the compulsive use of curse words, coprolalia, repetition of meaningless sounds, echolalia, and repeating phrases very quickly, palalia. People with Tourette's say they can control it for a few minutes, but it's like an itch. Sooner or later, it has to be scratched. They can't hold back. Most people with Tourette syndrome can function in society despite it. There are medications, often anti-anxiety drugs, that can be used to counter the symptoms. Meditation, relaxation techniques, and biofeedback are also used to lessen stress, thereby presumably the severity of the tics. Books about Tourette's syndrome are at number 616.83 or RC375 at the library. tsa.mgh.harvard.edu, Tourette Syndrome Association K12ACADEMICS.com/tourettes.htm, Tourette's syndrome information. Chowza.org. lindamoral.net. braintalk.com. ccn.cs.dal.ca/health/Tourette. chad.org/tsprime.htm. dal.ca/health/Tourette. famil.com, 888-332-6651, 877-458-6400, 800-539-3326, supplements. info.med.yale.edu/childstdy/tsocd, TS Clinic, New Haven, CT. latitudes.org, newsletter about alternative treatments for AD, Tourette syndrome and autism. livesatwitch.com. mgh.harvard.edu/tsa/tsamain.nclk. mindinstitute.ucdmc.ucdavis.edu, 888-883-0961, TS Clinic, Sacramento, CA. news.com/alt/support/tourette.html. nines.nih.gov/healinfo/disorders/Tourette. nines.nih.gov/health_and/medical/pub/Tourette_syndrome.htm. personal.umd.umich.edu/tilde-infinity/Tourette.html. radiology.uiowa.edu/patients/Iowa healthbook/Tourette/homepage.html. tourettehelp.com. tourette.org.au. tourettesyndrome.com. tourettesyndrome.com/tourette-syndrome-association.htm, list of TS support groups worldwide. tourettesyndrome.net. tourettesyndrome.org. tourettesyndrome.org.uk. tsa.mgh.harvard.edu, 800-237-0717, Tourette's syndrome. tsa.org.uk, United Kingdom. tsa-usa.org, 800-237-0717, Tourette's syndrome. ucihealth.com/healthcare services/mov disorder.htm, 888-456-7004, Movement Disorder Clinic, Irvine, CA. umd.umich.edu/tilde-infinity/Tourette.html. uwm.edu/tilde-dwoods/new page 11.htm, Tic Disorders Specialty Clinic, Milwaukee, WI. WeMove.org, Movement Disorders. Tourette Spectrum Disorder Association. 30733 East Sunset Drive S. Redlands, California 92373. 909-794-3000. tourettesyndrome.org. Tourette Syndrome Association. 42-40 Bell Boulevard, NYC 11361. 800-237-0717. 888-4 Tourette. 718-224-2999. Fax, 718-279-9596. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Tourette Syndrome Foundation of Canada. 206-194 Jarvis St. Toronto, on M5B2B7. 800-361-3120. 416-861-8398. Fax, 416-861-2472. tsfc.org at simpiatico.ca. Tourette's.ca. Tourette Syndrome Clinic. City of Hope Medical Center. 1500 East Duarte Road. Duarte, California 91010. 818-359-8111. Tourette's Syndrome/OCD Clinic. Yale Child Study Center. 230 South Frontage Road. New Haven, Connecticut 06520-7900. 203-785-5880. info.med.yale.edu/childstdy/tsocd. Pediatric OCD and Tic Disorders Clinic. University of Illinois. Uick Institute for Juvenile Research. 907 S. Wolcott. Chicago, Illinois 60612. 312-335-3000. uiuc.edu. Tic and Anxiety Disorders Clinic. Johns Hopkins Hospital. Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. 600 North Wolf St. Baltimore, Maryland 21287. 410-955-1925. med.jhu.edu/jhh psychiatry/childmain.hdm. Tourette Clinic. McLean Hospital. 115 Mill St. Belmont, Massachusetts 02478. 800-333-0338. Tourette Clinic. Children's Hospital of Buffalo. 219 Bryant St. Buffalo, New York 14222. 716-878-7840. Tourette Syndrome Clinic. Children's Hospital Medical Center. Neurology Department. 3333 Burnett Avenue. Cincinnati, Ohio 45229-3039. 800-344-2462. 513-636-4222. cincinnatichildrens.org/programs_services/396. Tourette's and Tic Disorders Clinic. Medical University of South Carolina. Institute of Psychiatry. 67 President St. Pog 25061. Charleston, South Carolina 29425. 843-792-2300. Psych at musk.edu. musk.edu. Tic Disorders Specialty Clinic. University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Pierce Hall, 1st FL. 2513 East Hartford Avenue. Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53201. 414-229-5521. uwm.edu//dwood/new page11.hdm. Tourette Syndrome Clinic. Toronto Hospital, Western Wing. 399 Bathurst St. Toronto, on M5T2S8. 416-603-5794. Fax, 416-603-5292. uhealthnet.on.ca. Tourette Syndrome Clinic. St. Boniface General Hospital. 409 Tatch Avenue. Winnipeg, MBR2H2A6. 204-237-2690. Tourette Syndrome Associations by State. Alabama. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. 423 Summertrees Drive. Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSANATL local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Alaska. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. TS at tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Arkansas. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. Serving Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee and West Virginia. 423 Summertrees Drive, Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Colorado. Serving Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. Rocky Mountain Region. PMB 198. 837 South Cunha Road. Brighton, Colorado 80601. 720-212-7535. tsarmr@att.net. tsarmr.com. Connecticut. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Delaware. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. District of Columbia. Tourette Syndrome Association of Greater Washington. 33 University Boulevard East. Silver Spring, Maryland 20901. 877-295-2148. 301-681-4133. tsagwaol.com. tsagw.org. Georgia. Tourette Syndrome Association of Georgia. POB 6147. Athens, Georgia 30606. 706-248-9784. tsagirgia@bellsouth.net. georgiatourette.org. Idaho. Serving Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. Rocky Mountain Region. PMB 198. 837 South Cunha Road. Brighton, Colorado 80601. 720-212-7535. tsarmr@att.net. tsarmr.com. Indiana. Tourette Syndrome Association of Indiana. POB 3797. West Lafayette, Indiana 47996-3797. 765-337-7361. tsnchptraol.com. tsaindiana.org. Iowa. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Kentucky. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. Serving Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee and West Virginia. 423 Summertrees Drive, Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Louisiana. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. Serving Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee and West Virginia. 423 Summertrees Drive. Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Maine. Maine/New Hampshire chapter of the Tourette Syndrome Association. 877-368-9800. 207-428-3040. info@tsa-maine.org. tsa-maine.org. Maryland. Tourette Syndrome Association of Greater Washington. 33 University Boulevard East. Silver Spring, Maryland 20901-2485. 877-295-2148. 301-681-4133. tsagwaol.com. tsagw.org. Massachusetts. Tourette Syndrome Association. Massachusetts Chapter. POB 653. Marston's Mills, Massachusetts 02648. 617-277-7589. tsa-ma.org. Michigan. The Tourette Syndrome Association Inc. Michigan Chapter. 30641 Whittier. Madison Heights, Michigan 48071. 248-641-8725. TSA Michigan at comcast.net. tsa-michigan.org. Minnesota. Tourette Syndrome Association of Minnesota. Inc. 2233 University Avenue. Number 338. St. Paul, Minnesota 55114. 651-646-0099. 866-918-7500. Director at tsa-mn.org. tsa-mn.org. Mississippi. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. Serving Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee and West Virginia. 423 Summertrees Drive. Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Missouri. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Montana. Serving Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. Rocky Mountain Region. PMB 198. 837 South Cunha Road. Brighton, Colorado 80601. 720-212-7535. tsarmr@att.net. tsarmr.com. Nebraska. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Nevada. Serving Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. Rocky Mountain Region. PMB 198. 837 South Cunha Road. Brighton, Colorado 80601. 720-212-7535. tsarmr@att.net. tsarmr.com. New York. New York City Chapter. 646-202-9683. Chapter at tsa-newyorkc.org. tsa-nyc.org. New York. Greater Rochester Chapter. 585-987-5196. TSA at touretterochester.org. touretterochester.org. New York. Greater New York State Chapter. 716-839-4430. Connors at roadrunner.com. tsa-gnys.org. New Hampshire. Maine/New Hampshire Chapter of the Tourette Syndrome Association. 207-428-3040. 877-368-9800. Info at tsa-maine.org. tsa-maine.org. New Jersey. Tourette Syndrome Association of New Jersey, Inc. 50 Division Street. Number 205. Somerville, New Jersey 08876. Somerville, New Jersey 08876. 08876. 732-972-4459. Sanjay Helpline. 908-575-7350. njtsaol.com. sanjay.org. New Mexico. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts at tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. New York. Hudson Valley Chapter. 914-378-5025. Info at tsa-newyorkhv.org. tsa-nyhv.org. New York. Long Island Chapter. 516-876-6947. Longisland tsaol.com. li-tsa.org. North Dakota. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts at tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. North Carolina. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South Region. 423 Summertrees Drive. Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Ohio. Tourette Syndrome Association of Ohio. POG 28345. Columbus, Ohio 43228. 614-539-1795. 800-543-2675, in-o. Admin at tsaohio.org. tsaohio.org. Oklahoma. Oklahoma Chapter of Tourette Syndrome Association. 580-233-1862. Camphouse at sbcglobal.net. oktsa.freeservers.com. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Tourette Syndrome Association. 132 West Middle Street. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania 17325. 800-990-3300, in PA. 717-337-1134. Sherry at patsainc.org. patsainc.org. Rhode Island. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42-40 Bell Boulevard. Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts at tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. South Dakota. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42 to 40 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York 11361-2820, 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. South Carolina. Serving Georgia and South Carolina. Tourette Syndrome Association of Georgia. epub 6147. Athens, Georgia 30606. 706-248-9784. tsa@bellsouth.net. georgiatourette.org. Tennessee. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. Serving Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee and West Virginia. 423 Summertrees Drive, Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Texas. Tourette Syndrome Association of Texas. 3919 River Forest Drive, Richmond, Texas 77406. 281-238-8096. TouretteTexasAOL.com. TouretteTexas.org. Vermont. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42 to 40 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Virginia. Tourette Syndrome Association of Greater Washington. 33 University Boulevard East, Silver Spring, Maryland 20901-2485. 877-295-2148. 301-681-4133. tsagwaol.com. tsagw.org. West Virginia. Tourette Syndrome Association Mid-South. Regional Office. 423 Summertrees Drive, Auburn, Alabama 36832. 334-502-0055. TSA Mid-South at bellsouth.net. TSA. USA.org/TSA local/chapters/midsouth.hdm. Wisconsin. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. 42 to 40 Bell Boulevard, Bayside, New York 11361-2820. 718-224-2999. ts@tsa-usa.org. tsa-usa.org. Wyoming. Serving Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Tourette Syndrome Association, Inc. Rocky Mountain Region. PMB 198. 837 South Cunha Road, Brighton, Colorado 80601. 720-212-7535. tsarmr@att.net. tsarmr.com.